There. It is so cold outside.
Let's get your buckles on.
-18.
Oh my goodness.
That's cool.
Kiss her. Oh. Gonna give Dad a kiss? No. Oh, okay. Let's get beating out. Got your stuff? Buckle. There you go. Okay. Let's go, Pega. See, are you grabbing your stuff or not? You're just standing there.
What do I do?
Taste this morning.
Okay, see you later. Have a nice day at school. There's Everett. See you later. All right, kids are dropped off. Time to go boat shopping. Of course, anytime we're going to the airport, it's a blizzard. Never fails. So up until just several weeks ago, we were fairly convinced that we were gonna buy a used boat. We did a charter. I think we were the third people on the boat. It was a new 46-foot catamaran, and already the boat was falling apart. The feathering props came off. There was a problem with the halyards and sails. Towel hooks were falling off. Why would anyone put a boat into charter? Why would anyone buy a new boat? The boat is just gonna get wrecked. And since then, it had always been our plan to purchase a used boat, a couple of years old. So the shakedown is already completed, all the kinks have been worked out, and when you're buying the boat, you know exactly what you're getting. Hopefully no surprises, or the surprise being as minimal as possible and identified on survey. There's a big argument to be made about depreciation, where the boat could lose, 20% or more of its value in the first couple of years, and hopefully buying used, we would benefit from that. But here I am making a trip out to the coast to have a look at a new catamaran. For some reason, it's always blizzard conditions when we're driving out to the airport. So what's changed in our thinking? So the time for us to make a decision on whether to buy a new boat or used boat is coming up pretty quickly. Lead time for the boat we would want if we were to purchase new is about 1 year. The next available hull coming out of Cape Town is February 2021, and it's February 2020 right now. If we wanted to put an order in for a new boat and get our name on the production list, then we would have to make a decision pretty soon. All right, some extra masks. If we decided not to buy new, then we would be looking at the used market and seeing what boats come up on brokerages and the used listings next year. It's possible that some of the new catamarans could come off as a last-minute cancellation, but those aren't very common. More likely, we'd be looking with a broker to see if there's anything that fits our requirements and our desires closer to the time when we are thinking of departing. Which brings us to one of the many paradoxes of this global pandemic. You would think that with the economy shutting down, people dying from COVID, record unemployment and debt, government support, that the used boating market may be a seller's market, but that's not the case. The stock markets are at an all-time high, the housing market is crazy, and likewise, there are no listings for used boats. So I've been on broker and dealership listing email lists for a number of years now, and every now and then there'd be an interesting boat that comes up, but over the last several months, these listings have completely dried up. Hello. I was browsing the listings on used boats that we might be interested in a couple of weeks ago, and was surprised at how slim the pickings were. Either there wouldn't be anything available, or there'd be a couple of boats which would be several years older than what we would want. And of course, the layout may not be ideal for us, or the condition of what was out there. The majority of the listings had sale pending on it, or were actually sold themselves. Then came out an email from a brokerage putting a call out for anyone who had these boats available, as they had buyers ready with cash in hand. Looking down the list, these were exactly the ones that we were looking for as well. So I talked to Shannon about this, and while it's possible that next year everyone goes broke and there'll be a flood of depreciating assets that show up on the market. Just as likely as with the vaccine rollout going on, restrictions being lifted, that more people and families would actually want to get out on the water, and there'd be even a further squeeze on inventory. So I went onto the Leopard catamaran site to price out the options and see what the financials looked like. That was a week ago. And now here I am on the coast going to check out a boat. Thanks for picking me up, Jesse.
Hey, you bet. Anytime.
Plus 10 degrees.
Yeah.
Welcome to Victoria. Look at this. Green.
There's the odd palm tree.
Blue skies. No snow. Green grass. Why do we live in Alberta? Why are we here?
That's the question that I asked myself 12 years ago.
And here you are. Okay, Ever, show me, what is this?
A catamaran.
Catamaran that you built? Okay, and what are all the features here?
There's a little sitting area, a hot tub,
Let's see how that works. You got the cover on it? Yeah. Okay, yeah.
cockpit.
Oh, very nice. Got the steering wheel, the helm up there, and the inside.
Second cockpit.
He knows his stuff.
He does. Oh, we've been watching like YouTube videos on like boats.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
Living room.
Oh, that's where everyone is. Oh, the baby.
Yeah, there's even baby Jordan.
Is the whole family there?
Yeah. Except Casey. And now, mainsail up.
And the mainsail.
He's got a furler jib.
Jib sail up.
Yeah, there's big space over here.
What is that?
Say it again.
This is the most glorious
It
day.
sure is.
Isn't it?
Hi, Jordan.
This weather. Holy crap.
It's beautiful.
And I think you need to move here. Just saying.
This is like coming here, it's like so nice. Like this even little cute marina here, right?
Oh, I love it. I love boats. It's just so beautiful. That's 45 is a good length. It kind of puts it into perspective how big it is. I think a bigger boat would be hard to handle.
Yeah, can you imagine? Well, 58's gonna be like,
It's gonna be like, look how
and I think
beautiful
it's
this
3
is.
stories higher, right? You
See
know?
that one? There's an Odyssey. Hey, an Odyssey 40.
Pretty decent size.
Definitely think.
Come take a look.
That's enough space for 4 people.
Oh, were we just on that side?
I mean, like,
This whole
It's a
thing?
4
I would say
bedroom.
6 people.
boat.
Dad, it has 4 bedrooms.
That's a
in
good
it.
size.
4 bedrooms. Dad, it
And
has
then you
4
have the
bedrooms.
inside table, right?
I'll show you
Yeah.
the 4 bedrooms.
It's taking in the space here.
Dad, this one has more bedrooms.
Let's see.
This one's better. Yeah. See, Mama, look.
Jesse and Jordan.
Mama. I want to go to the bow.
Of course, there's this more scuffs. Is that? The trampoline is smaller than I remembered. Lounge area is definitely quite nice. I can stretch out all the way, have my feet here, watching to the front. Nicole and Jesse are thinking probably we should get deck cushions. And this is definitely way enough space.
What's in there, Dada?
I think this would be a nice space, you know, to do work, schoolwork, just hang out, live. I guess this is where the nav table is. Definitely a nice area desk. Computer screen here or something like that, and that's what Oluki did. They have that area for some extra electronics. It'd be quite comfortable for 1 adult. 2 kids, I think they could probably do it, you know, in case we're having visitors. Yeah, the rear cabin is definitely a bit more spacious and more comfortable to lay out on. Certainly queen size bed for 2 adults. Yeah, this is gonna be no problem. There's a bit of not that much storage. Here's one closet, and you'd have the bottom. And outside of that, yeah, there is not any other dedicated space for clothes. So forward head, the toilet is not right in front of the door, my pet peeve. And you do have a separated shower area. Of course, in the smaller shower, there's no enclosure at all, so things will probably get wet, but you have your towel rack over here. And yes, here I am sitting on the head, and good amount of space.
Pasta sauce, vegetables.
Because I'm thinking, I'm at home, I personally don't think I
never use four. I never use
four burners.
No, neither do I.
So this is an upgrade, 4 burners, and then
okay.
I think this oven is a little bit smaller, but
you can make it. You just have to plan it out. Although I guess you're doing your hot water on a kettle here instead of an electric kettle, right? Or you could do.
Well, you could have an electric kettle.
Yeah.
Looks like they didn't do backrest cushions, or maybe. But I'm gonna sit down right here.
This is where you're ending your rope and stuff.
And this would be a
Well, of course, because that's how you.
quite a nice spot here.
So you make a rule that nobody's allowed back there.
Good point. So I mean, it's fairly enclosed. Like
It is fairly.
there's just that one area where you can get out.
And I mean, here you could like zip it in if you were really worried about
Everett,
the
you want to go
kids.
have
Right.
real?
Yeah, with these enclosures.
Yeah.
These are nice enclosures. Jesse and I were looking at these. They're pretty solid.
Yeah.
And then these lines can come off, lifelines, and then hop in your dinghy.
This baby loves boats.
Say cheese.
Say cheese. Can I take a look in there?
Yeah, let's have a look here. So this is a 2-year-old boat, all coming up to 2 years, and you can see some of the chrome is already starting to come off, which is a little bit annoying. Just the upkeep on these are probably really hard to maintain if there's not someone on board all the time. Wouldn't be kept up and like washed. So here's what I'm talking about. Some streaking on the skylight, which is probably going to be one of those disappointing things about owning a new boat. Got some cosmetic things like, your Velcro coming off a little bit here. Maybe you lose some of your covers for the electric winches.
Item all check. Hold this baby.
Dada, there's this 44 foot.
Mr. Snuggles! This is crazy. I found the boat where I took my first 5-day course right here. Altano. Jeannot 37. It was 10 years ago. Through Cooper Boating. Nice day out in Sydney Marina. Beautiful.
He's probably bigger than I.
Not too much bigger.
Four chucks. Okay, back at the airport. Such a nice day out. Not really looking forward to the minus 37-degree weather. Shannon's warned me that they are in total deep freeze over there. And here we've got birds chirping, green leaves, foliage, flowers in bloom. So new versus used. There's no doubt that there's lots of pros buying used. The biggest one is going to be the cost. You certainly get a lot more boat for the money. Just like a car, the steepest part of the depreciation curve is right when you purchase the boat. So right off the bat, selling it off the marina, it'll probably be a 10% depreciation hit. And then over the next couple of years, 10 to 20%. And I think if we can find a boat that is 2 or 3 years old, that would probably be ideal for us. But at the same time, those are the ones that are probably most in demand. After looking at the Leopard 45, we had a look at a deal pending Lagoon 42 at another marina. It was absolutely pristine. It had gone through 2 sailing seasons, owned by a single owner, and on contract for $700,000 Canadian. A new version of that would be about $850 or so. But from what we can tell in terms of finishings, there was not a scratch. It was well taken care of. There's no doubt from a financial perspective that you would get much more boat for your money if you were to buy a couple years used. The biggest pro for us is probably knowing that the shakedown is completed. I'm a big fan of knowing exactly what you're buying and having that product right in front of you. All the known issues out in the open, so you know exactly what you're getting. So there are benefits to buying new as well. Some of the important benefits to us would be probably less research, I would imagine. Buying used would involve finding a boat broker to help us out with the purchase. I mean, I guess you could go private sale, but realistically, we'd probably go with a broker. So we'd search through comments or referrals, interview the broker, hope that they're a decent one, and then have them help us search for a catamaran. When you're forwarded the listing, then I think you would have to research the make and model of that catamaran, as well as the boat history, whereas if you were buying new, you would just pick the make and model and essentially you're done. Because it is a seller's market, nowadays it sounds like if you're interested in a boat, you put down an offer first and then you fly down and do the survey, inspection, the sea trials after that. I think there may be some pressure in terms of boat buying. If you don't put in an offer, then the boat goes to the next person right away. You might lose a deal. So there's a little bit more stress added there. In some regard, if you had some time to look at the boat and properly make an assessment, what you see is what you get. Yet at the same time, contrary to my prior point, maybe buying new is what you see is what you get. It's really nice to take the shrink wrap off a new purchase. There's no doubt about it. No scratches, there's no flaking on the chrome, there's no spots of rust that you can see that needs to be buffed out, holes in the bulkheads from hooks that have fallen off, or perhaps scratches on windows. The heads are clean and unused. The engine bays don't have oil and dirt in them. Years ago, I loved the Helia 44, and I think it's still a great boat. And I pictured myself getting that used, you know, a 5-year-old or a little older boat. But now you look at photos of that, you know, it's not the same as when I saw the Helia 44 when it was new. It is a used boat now. Same with the Leopard 46. Now they have a Leopard 45, and just this year they released a Leopard 45 with a lounge option on top. Now you might want that or you might not want it, but that's the latest offering. And they put that on their brochures, their marketing materials, their videos, and Shannon sold on it, and I like the looks of it as well. I'm sure next year they're gonna put out something even better, and I'll be like, I wish I got that. But at least now, you know, I'm at the forefront of the production line and the technology. And maybe if you're putting that much money on the table and you're not getting exactly what you want and you're able to afford it, then maybe it would be worthwhile to go for it. We're under no illusion that there's not going to be any hiccups or perhaps maintenance issues even on a new boat. I mean, we've watched enough videos and read enough on the forums to know that a new boat is not problem free. But if you have it new for at least a little while, you have the warranty for 1 year before things start to degrade or maybe depreciate after that. Maybe the scratches that build up will be gradual enough that you don't notice it, or at least they're your fault, I suppose. And then when we go to repair things, then we know the maintenance history. We know exactly what has happened to the boat. We know if the job was done right or not, and repairing the boat with the proper parts, and overall essentially to know that the boat has been taken care of. Of all the reasons to buy new though, probably the reason that ranks at the top of our list is if we buy new, then we would know that we would get the type of boat that we want at the time that we want it. All right. Oh my God, it's freezing. Oh, car started. Why do we live in such a nice planet?
It's an ice planet. It's all there is as far as the eye can see.
Okay, here we are on our way back to home sweet home. Hopefully in a couple of years we'll have a different scene.